Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, this is Jesse with the Common Nerd, and you guys know I love me some Warhammer 40k, right? I wouldn't get so upset and so angry about a lot of the crazy nonsense that's going on out there inside of the Games Workshop universe if it wasn't for the fact that I was a fan. I've invested in things, I've played the games, I love Space Marine 2, it's an absolute blast of a game. I can't wait for future updates to see how it goes out there as well. And ladies and gentlemen, well, we know the Total War Warhammer universe is a lot of fun. Those video games have been very enjoyed by a lot of people, but it looks like we've got some new leaks, and they come from dear sweet old Chapter Master Valrock himself, which if you haven't already, go subscribe to his channel if you love Warhammer 40k stuff. If you're not already subscribed, what are you doing? Because he's great for breaking news. He's got a bunch of insiders, he gets leaks and all that kind of fun stuff out there. And boys and girls, that's exactly what we've got to report on you today. Because as you can see over here from fandompulse.substack, tons of new details rumored for Total War Warhammer 40,000, including release date, mechanics, factions, and more. And this is very exciting. I've got a few of the Total War games in my system out there, in my Steam library out there. I played a couple of them. They're a lot of fun, but this one sounds like it might be something to really revitalize the whole setting out there, really bring a lot of new people in, because there's a lot of really cool things that are broken down that he actually leaked out there from all of his inside sources. And it sounds like we might be getting a very fun and much more complete version of Total War that is 40,000 orientated. And I think that is really, really going to be cool, boys and girls. So we're going to check out this article from Fandom Pulse to get into all of the juicy details. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 800. We're sailing our way towards 900 over here on the gaming channel, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Are you excited? Are you a Total War Hammer fan out there? Is this something you really want to see? Are you excited about these leaks and these releases? Let us know what you think about all of that in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to help support the channel, please check the links in the description as well. All right, so from John F. Trent over there on Fandom Pulse. A relatively new rumor provides a ton of new information about an alleged Total War Warhammer 40,000 game that Creative Assembly is working on. YouTuber Chapter Master Valrock shared a ton of his information to his channel at the end of December, where he shared that Creative Assembly is indeed working on a Total War Warhammer 40,000 game, and that it recently did a friends and family test for the game back in October 2024. Obviously, this wouldn't be anything surprising out there. This is normally how they do this stuff. It's the same way in movies, right? Like Disney normally does their little screenings and stuff like that with friends and family first before they do anything else. So that makes total sense. And obviously, and those are the people that you can generally keep kind of quiet. You know what I mean? You're pretty good about keeping their mouths shut about things, but apparently somebody let the cat out of the bag. He went on to share that the announcement could come in June with a test planned for February of 2026 and an official release sometime in fall or winter of 2026. This is the part that makes me the saddest, but it's one of them situations where Space Marine 2, I mean, from the announcement time frame to when the game actually came out was a very long haul. But the nice part about it is at least you know the game should be good on release, right? Space Marine 2 was perfectly fine on release. It took a long time for us to get the game, but it came out just flawless, didn't really have any bugs, didn't have anything that was game breaking, like what we've seen at a lot of some of the major AAA studios out there over the last few years, boys and girls. So that's kind of the nice part about that. It's like one of those things, okay, that's fine. I'd much rather see you take your time, make sure it was polished, make sure it was good. The last thing I do want is a broken and buggy game while on launch, because once you do that, it's over. First impressions are absolutely everything. So yeah, this is a little bit of time, but you know what? Winter 2026 will probably come sooner than all of us can sooner than probably most of us would want or imagine at that point, boys and girls. So not too terribly far off, especially in the game industry. On top of these dates, he also shared details about the campaign maps as well as new mechanics that might be featured in the game. For the campaign maps, he said it will be galaxy maps where you battle for like system control on the ground and in space. And that would be really cool. Now, this source did say that they're not sure if the space battles will be in the game at launch. Most likely. It's nice to start hearing rumors that it's not just going to be ground battles. There's going to be a lot of things added to the space part of the game as well, because that is a massive, massive part of Warhammer 40,000. And he's absolutely right. It is. I mean, they talk about the space battles. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Kaifas Kane novels. I'm almost through all of them at this point. And there's always kind of space stuff going on. I mean, Kaifas prefers to be on the ground, but you know what? He's space and the battles happen and all that kind of stuff. He just ends up in those kind of situations. So it's a huge part of the story. I mean, you go into the Horus Heresy, and you get into you get into everything that happened on Terra with the major attacks, and yeah, there was all kinds of stuff going on in space. There was all kind of blockades, and obviously there's a lot of things like some of the kill team boxes are all set up for doing space raids and stuff, and raids on spaceships and stuff like that. So it's good to hear that kind of stuff will come to Total War. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So as far as game mechanics, he shared that there will be an air combat that was originally developed for a canceled Total War World War I game. Okay, he said that game will feature mechanics like dogfights for biplanes and stuff like that. He noted this would likely apply to things like Valkyries and Walkers, which that would be a lot of fun to see as well. Moving on to factions, he shared that the game will likely include Space Marines. Well, that would kind of be a duh. Chaos Space Marines, Orcs, and Eldar, which I think that would be perfect. I mean, do we really need the cow folk? I don't know, but obviously it's one of those things with updates later on they'll add more people. But yeah, Chaos Space Marines, Orcs, and Eldar and regular Space Marines makes sense. Those are some of the core factions. It absolutely makes sense. So we don't need the Tau. And we don't necessarily need some of the other guys just yet. He also noted these will apparently be launching with sub-factions attached to them as well. So good. That means you'll be, because obviously like with Chaos Space Marines, there's a whole bunch of different chapters. The same thing with the Orcs. You've got like different sub-factions. You've got all the different types of the guys with your weird boys and everything else. And then obviously the Eldar have a bunch of different factions. I mean, that would really be cool to be able to play with like some of the Laughing Gods avatars and stuff like that. That would be really, really neat to see, but we'll see what happens with that. Let's see. So yeah, with the sub-faction. So it's probably going to be launching with the main poster boys. Makes sense. Which is probably going to be Ultramarines. Here we go. Oh, the blue boys. Can my Dark Angels get some love, please? But I would love maybe Blood Angels, Dark Angels. Thank you. Imperial Fist, White Scars to be attached to them as well. And maybe have certain hero characters attached to them. Lysander, Gilliman for the Ultramarines, Azrael for the Dark Angels, Dante for the Blood Angels, etc. I mean, you could have the Lion come in it. He is back now. I don't know where they're going to put this one in the timeline, but I'd love to see the Lion back. But yeah, Azrael, obviously, I would be perfectly happy. Just give me my Dark Angels. Just give me my Dark Angels, boys and girls. That's all I really want. So that's all we've got for that one. I mean, what do you make of this rumor? And that's really the question we all have. I mean, Chapter Master Valrock, I've been watching him for a while. Like, he's not going to put stuff out there into the ethos. He's not going to put stuff out there into the world if he doesn't believe it's 100% true, and his sources are very reliable. And the guy's been right a lot in the past. His leaks have been very, very spot on. So he definitely knows some people inside of Games Workshop, and I would imagine I would take these leaks as essentially gospel at this point. Obviously, the dates can change and stuff like that. And, some of the stuff with the factions and all that kind of stuff is kind of obvious. It's like, yeah, no duh. Of course, they're going to be putting all that kind of stuff in there. But it's one of them situations where it's like, this all sounds really, really good. And I love being excited for something coming out, all right, boys and girls, because we've had so much dredge, we've had so much nonsense, we've had so much garbage go on over the last few years, and just the video game industry has been in a rough spot, and Warhammer 40k has had some of its issues and stuff like that, but it seems like the video games are just being absolutely spot on. Whoever's controlling these IPs, whoever's doing a good job with these video games, these studios are just doing a great job with a lot of the Warhammer 40k stuff, and I'm excited to see what the future of Total Warhammer 40,000 will be. Really, really fun with all the different factions and all the space battles. It sounds like this could be a game that would be absolutely fun. So obviously it is a long ways off, but ladies and gentlemen, I am excited for it. I can't wait to see it, and let me know what you think about all this in the comments section down below. And as always, make the fans happy, and we'll make you rich. Do a good job, Total War, and it'll be a grand old sales exposition for you, just like everybody else. Thanks for watching, and let us know what you think about all this in the comment section down below.